It's hot, it's raining, and I really didn't want to do this.
Does Aristotle say the bones come first and then the flesh and the muscles?
Are you? Is that what?
I'm not saying it. Can you?
Is
Are
that
you
what?
sure?
Is that what the Quran specifically says?
Absolutely. This is exactly what the Quran says. Chapter
we're done
23.
because you just demonstrated the Quran is wrong. First is you have differentiation of mesoderm.
Right.
That within the mesoderm you have segregation into things like embryonic mesenchyme, and then you have these cartilaginous centers that will form bone.
Right.
And these are forming simultaneously with each other.
Right. Simultaneously.
Yes.
Even if that's the case, the Quran is right, because thumma is very, even if that's the case, linguistically the Quran is right. Thumma literally can in Arabic language means things happening simultaneously. Yes.
Yes, the amazing flexibility of the Arabic word thumma, which absolutely means immediately afterwards, until such a time that you require it to mean immediately at the same time. Or, if you look at another surah in the Quran, 41 verses 10 to 12, which describe the creation of the universe in exactly the wrong order, using the word thumma, can also mean, guess what God did earlier? So, if thumma means something that happened earlier, something that happened simultaneously, or something that will happen immediately afterwards, when you happen to stroll across an instance in the Quran where thumma is used and describes stuff in the correct order, you don't get to claim it's a miracle.
Right.
And these are forming simultaneously with each other.
Right. Simultaneously.
Yes.
Even if that's the case, the Quran is right, because thumma is very, even if that's the case, linguistically the Quran is right. Thumma literally can in Arabic language means things happening simultaneously. Yes.
Bit of a close call there, wasn't it, eh? Stroke a look the Quran using a flexible word like thumma. I mean, imagine how stuffed you'd have been if it had used a inflexible word like fa. This last one from Lane's lexicon really amuses me. Fa. It says, denoting conjunction in an absolute manner, with delay. Now the thing that really amuses me about this is that the example it cites from the Quran is the exact verse in question. Then we made the sperm a lump of clotted blood. Then we made the lump of clotted blood a bit of flesh. Then we made the bit of flesh bones. Then we clothed the bones with flesh. So, this So, this entry in the Lane's lexicon shows the verse in question as a perfect example of illustrating events that happen sequentially and not in parallel. Observant viewers might be wondering why Ira claimed it was muscle that surrounds the bones, whereas the Lane lexicon says it is flesh. The verse in question uses the Arabic word lahman, which means flesh, and not adla, which means muscle. So, why would Ira mention muscle? Keith Moore's book says, by the end of the 6th week, the hand plates condenses to form digital rays, fingers. The intervening tissue breaks down, forming notches between the digital rays, producing fingers and toes. It also says, as the limbs elongate, bones form. So, it is describing the presence of the flesh before the bones. As the author of page 364A, which was not Keith Moore by the way, tried to make this miracle work, they were probably annoyed that they couldn't even make the word muscles fit, because later in the page Keith Moore says the limb musculature develops in situ from the mesenchyme surrounding the developing bones. But then the words surrounding the developing bones probably struck them, and they thought, clothe the bones with flesh or muscles, and in the miracle went. Then they probably had to refine the miracle a little bit, because claiming that bones have got muscles wrapped around them isn't really much of a miracle. So then they probably just thought, stuff the facts, let's write this load of crap.
Does Aristotle say the bones come first and then the flesh and the muscles? Does he say that? Are you sure?
Anybody that works.
I'll let you think about this.
Well, if you are you is that what the
I'm not saying it. Can you are you sure?
Is that what the Quran specifically says?
Absolutely. This is exactly what the Quran says. Chapter
then we're done
23.
because you just demonstrated the Quran is wrong.